most diets actually don't help your cravings. They cause them. You'll always actually feel like food has power over you, which no one wants to be there. Even if your stomach is physically full, your brain still says, go get more. You're not actually eating because you're weak. You're actually eating because your body is trying to calm itself down. So find meals that taste amazing and that support your goals. This is actually what makes results long-term, because you aren't actually torturing yourself. You're enjoying what you're doing. You're enjoying the process. So if you feel like food controls you, like your cravings hijack your willpower, so to speak, this might explain everything for you. So think of this scenario. You're not even that hungry, but the cravings hit anyways. You eat something sweet to feel better. Then you actually feel worse after, or you promise that it's gonna be different tomorrow, but tomorrow feels the exact same. And every time it happens, the voice in your head says, why can't I just stop? But what if this actually isn't about willpower at all? Hey, I'm Trevor Buccieri, and I've helped nearly 30,000 patients drop almost 600,000 pounds, reclaim their hormones, and lose over 133,000 inches from their midsections alone. And most of them actually felt like their cravings were completely out of control until they learned the truth about what was actually really happening inside their bodies. Because most people think that cravings are just emotional eating or bad habits, but that's not even close to the truth. Cravings are actually hormonal. And unless we actually learn how to calm those hormones down, you'll always actually feel like food has power over you, which no one wants to be there. And today what I'm going to do is actually break down exactly why cravings hijack your fat loss progress and the 5 simple steps to reset your hunger hormones that actually keep pulling you off track. So here's what we're going to be covering today. Number 1, the real reason you keep craving food even after you eat. Number 2, how dieting makes your cravings 10 times worse. Number 3, the 2 hidden hormones that control your hunger. Number 4, the surprising link between sleep, stress, and sugar cravings. And number 5, how to rebalance your hunger hormones and actually finally feel in control again. So number 1, the real reason you actually keep craving food even after you eat it. So most people actually think that cravings happen because they're just being bad or they lack willpower, but that's not really what's going on here. Cravings are actually a signal. They're your body's way of communicating that something is off balance. So you might eat a full meal, but if your body actually didn't get what it actually needed, like the right nutrients or enough protein, it will keep asking you for more. And when your hunger hormones like leptin and ghrelin are actually imbalanced, your brain literally can't tell when you're full. So even if your stomach is physically full, your brain still says, go get more. And this is why you actually can feel full, but you still actually want to raid the pantry. You're not crazy. You're not broken. You're just hormonally out of sync. That's it. So how do we shift this? Cravings are not your fault, all right? Shifting that in our mindset. They're your body asking for balance. And when you start actually feeding it the right way, those signals calm down naturally. We're going to talk about how to do that. So real quick, if you're struggling with stubborn belly fat that you want to get rid of and you can't seem to control cravings, I would love to offer you a free midsection treatment as a thank you for watching. So just head over to midsectionmelt.com, and if you don't actually see measurable results on the spot that day, we'll actually pay you $50 for your time. All right, so let's get back into it. Number 2 here, how dieting actually makes your cravings 10 times worse. So here's the part that no one talks about. Most diets actually don't help your cravings. They cause them. And when you cut calories too low, your body goes into survival mode and it sees this drop in the food as a threat and it releases cortisol, which is our stress hormone. Now, cortisol actually makes your body store fat, especially around the beloved midsection, and it also tells your brain that we're starving. So go find sugar and do it fast. That's essentially what cortisol tells our brain. That's the signal we get. Now you're actually tired, you're anxious, and you're craving all the foods that you're actually not supposed to eat, right? And this is why dieting actually gets harder the longer you're on it. The more you restrict, the more your hormones actually push back against you in revolt, all right? And it's not that you actually don't have discipline, it's that your body's fighting to keep you alive. But we can shift this and we can correct this. So let's talk about how do we shift this here. It's stop thinking less food equals more fat loss. That's number 1, because when we put ourselves in that starvation mode, what we just talked about is exactly what happens. All right, and start eating a way that actually supports your hormones, not stresses them out. And then boom, the problem fixes itself. So number 3, the 2 hidden hormones that control your hunger. So first one we're talking about is leptin. This is the I'm full hormone. Now leptin is actually supposed to tell your brain when you've had enough to eat. But here's the problem. When you actually eat a lot of processed foods or you've dieted too much or too long, leptin actually stops working. So your brain actually never gets the message that you're full. So even after a full meal, you still feel like you need something more. You still feel like you need more food and you can't explain why. And this creates a cycle. So you keep eating, you don't feel satisfied, and you blame yourself for actually not having control. But that's not the real issue. Now we're talking about the second one, which is ghrelin. So we talked about leptin, now we're talking about ghrelin. And ghrelin is the I'm hungry hormone. So ghrelin actually tells your brain when it's time to eat. But when you're actually sleep deprived or you're stressed or you're skipping meals, ghrelin gets louder. And that's actually why after a rough night's sleep, you wake up wanting sugar and carbohydrates, those cravings. Or say if you ate poorly yesterday and even you got enough sleep, you wake up actually craving those sugars and those carbohydrates. And it's not about willpower, it's all about hormones. So how do we shift this? When you balance your leptin and ghrelin through the proper food and consistency with that, consistent sleep and also consistent recovery from workouts, cravings actually start to disappear on their own without you having to actually fight them. So it doesn't become a torture fest, it just becomes balanced. So number 4, the surprising link between sleep, stress, and sugar cravings. So most women actually try to fight cravings with more discipline, but what they really need is more recovery, interestingly, okay? And when you don't sleep well, your ghrelin goes up, making you hungrier, and your cortisol stays high, making your body store more fat. All right. And this combination makes your brain go straight to sugar because sugar actually gives you that quick dopamine hit, that feel good hormone, and that feel good because again, your energy's low. So it says, I need sugar to give me a quick zip so I can feel good. Now, on top of that, chronic stress actually keeps your body in survival mode. So your hunger switch never actually shuts off at all. You're not actually eating because you're weak. You're actually eating because your body's trying to calm itself down. So how do we shift this? If we actually want to feel in control again, sleep and recovery are absolute non-negotiables because we have to calm our nervous system down before our hunger will actually calm down on top of that. So it's calm the nervous system, then the hunger will calm down as a result. So step number 5 is how to rebalance your hunger hormones and finally feel in control again. So here's a simple 5-step blueprint I put together for you to take your power back from cravings. And step number 1 is prioritize protein. Protein actually keeps you full and it stabilizes blood sugar, which means fewer mood swings and also fewer cravings. So aim here to eat your body weight in protein, in grams of protein. So essentially, if your dream body goal is to get to 150 pounds, for example, that means you want to eat 150 grams of protein per day. Now, step number 2 is cut out ultra-processed foods. So highly processed foods actually confuse your hormones and they block leptin, which is the I'm full hormone. They block that from working. So replace them with real foods, lean proteins, fruits, and also healthy fats. Now, step number 3 is sleep 7 to 8 hours per night. So good sleep actually resets ghrelin, which is the I'm hungry hormone. It also lowers the cortisol hormone and it actually reduces cravings the very next day. And I've got to say, this might be the most overlooked fat loss strategy out there because again, when you wake up the next day ready to tackle the day, as opposed to as soon as your feet hit the floor, your body just wants sugar and that's all you can think about, there's a complete shift in your life right there. So step number 4 is eat enough calories because eating too little makes your hormones panic and cravings spike through the roof. So fuel your body like you love it, like you adore your body, not like you're actually trying to punish it. Now, step number 5 is use taste-centered nutrition. So if you don't love your food and you don't love what you're eating, the key is you actually won't stick with it. So make sure you love your food and love what you're eating and you will stick with it. So find meals that taste amazing and that support your goals. This is actually what makes results long-term because you aren't actually torturing yourself. You're enjoying what you're doing. You're enjoying the process. So how do we shift this? Now, when your body actually feels safe, it feels fueled and it feels supported, you stop obsessing over food because your hormones aren't screaming for help. They're actually balanced now and they're in the background so you can be fully present. And there you have it. If you've ever felt like your cravings were out of control, now you know exactly why. It's not lack of discipline, it's a hormone imbalance. Because when leptin and ghrelin hormones we talked about are off, your body really can't tell when it's full, and your brain actually keeps begging for a quick fix food like sugar, even when you're not actually hungry. But when you start supporting your body instead of actually fighting it through food, through sleep, and also nervous system balance, everything starts to shift. Cravings fade, control comes back, and fat loss becomes simple again. So if this helped you understand your cravings better, please go ahead, hit follow or subscribe so you never miss another strategy like this. And if you know someone who's actually been beating themselves up over food, please send this to them. It might just change everything for them. Again, I'm Trevor Buccieri. Thank you so much for investing your time with me. I value it so much with everything I've got. Give your best to the rest of your day. Take care.